talking about the new Samsung S21 Ultra for video. Welcome to the channel. My name is Anastas and our team at Subtle Cinematics creates in-depth filmmaking tutorials, behind the scenes videos, and more on this channel to help up-and-coming creators learn more about the freelance area of film. Today's topic is on the Samsung S21 Ultra. This phone released late January 2021 and there's been a lot of hype around it from the film community. I mean, super steady stabilization mode, 8K 24fps, 4K 60, and super slow motion at 240 and 960 fps. This cell phone's video capabilities are pretty crazy. A few weeks ago, we were given the opportunity to test this phone out by creating a cinematic ice fishing video on a cold Canadian winter day on the middle of a lake. In the behind the scenes video, we showed you our cell phone filming techniques and really broke down what frame rates we were filming at and why. The design of this phone screams clean, durable, and badass. The screen size on this phone is 6.7 inches and feels super comfortable whether I'm using it to text, watch YouTube videos, and the fact that it's a thin design, it comfortably fits in my pocket. Now there's a lot of cameras going on in this cell phone. The main camera is f1.8, 108 megapixels. The ultra wide angle lens is f2.2 at 12 megapixels. The 10x zoom is an f4.9 at 10 megapixels. And the 3x zoom is an f2.4 lens at 10 megapixels. The front-facing selfie camera offers a 40 megapixel f2.2 with autofocus. This cell phone offers super fast charging and a really cool feature that offers you to charge your buddy's cell phones. It even wirelessly charges my iPhone 12 Pro Max. That's pretty crazy. Water resistant. Yes, you heard me right. As mentioned earlier, when we filmed this ice fishing cinematic with the Galaxy S21 Ultra, we placed the phone in about 1.5 feet of deep freezing cold lake water for upwards of 5 minutes. This phone had zero water damage and we captured all of the shots that we needed. Now moving on to the color science of this phone. The color science on the Samsung S21 Ultra is, in my opinion, your typical cell phone color science, similarly to a natural color setting on a DSLR camera, but also captures great dynamic range. If you are a Samsung S21 owner and are looking for some LUTs specifically catered to the Samsung S21, check out the link below where we've created a pack of 4 LUTs for the Samsung S21 from our last shoot using this cell phone. The one thing I don't like about cell phone cameras is they tend to be a little overly sharp. It almost reminds me of the high sharpness mode on GoPro cameras. But either way, these are cell phones and aren't catered towards the filmmaking community, but more so giving S21 owners the option of having a really awesome out-of-the-box camera in their back pocket. The super smooth option, aka in-body stabilization, honestly blew me away. In this shot, I was filming out of the back of a truck bed at approximately 30 kilometers an hour in the middle of a lake, which has extremely rough snowdrifts, and the stabilization in the S21 Ultra held up way better than I expected. The stabilization had a few hiccups when we hit big bumps, but when you pair the super smooth option with 60 fps and slow the clip down by 40%, you're going to get a really smooth image. On DSLR cameras such as my Lumix GH5 and the Lumix S1, when the temperature drops below 20 degrees Celsius, the in-body image stabilizations as well as the LCD display screens tend to almost freeze up and lag. The S21 had zero issues with any screen lag or in-body image stabilization bumps in -30 below temperatures, which is very remarkable. Not to mention, the battery only dropped to 67% by the end of the shoot. Again, we were filming in -30 degree temperatures and had the phone submerged under freezing cold water for upwards of 5 minutes. Again, very remarkable. Being able to film in 4K 60 fps is game changing. The fact that we have slow motion 60 footage out of a cell phone and even 8K 24 fps makes me wonder what frame rates cell phones will have over the next 10 years down the road. The 8K 24 fps made for extremely sharp footage, and in my opinion, almost a little too sharp. This is a shot of a fishing flasher, and as you can see, there's snow blowing everywhere, and because we were filming in 8K 24 fps, every little snow speck that fell by was picked up by the 8K sensor of this Samsung S21. This isn't a bad thing by any means, I just feel the image looks super over sharpened. One of my favorite features was the 960 fps. 960 FPS out of a cell phone. This Samsung S21 Ultra is an absolute beast for having this option. The only downside to this is it only takes a 2 to 3 second video clip and then cuts the recording. Here's a shot that we captured in 960 FPS at 720p. So you can definitely notice the quality difference when filming from 4K and 8K, but keep in mind cinema cameras such as the Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro 12K can only film a variable frame rate of 240 FPS, but does offer 240 FPS in 4K, and you have cinema grade quality. But we're literally comparing a cell phone to a $15,000 cinema camera here, and both of these devices have different purposes. The coolest feature for filmmakers of this camera is the fact that there is the Pro Mode video. This is essentially the same as putting your DSLR camera into manual shooting mode. In Pro Video mode, we can adjust the omni. This means you can control the left, right, and neutral spot of where the audio is captured from the phone. If you're someone who is looking to vlog off of this phone, you can adjust the omni settings so the mic picks up the front audio more than the rear. This is an example of me using the front audio, so if I'm vlogging, I'm probably going to want to use this for better sound quality. This is best for capturing sound coming toward the front of the phone, and then you can switch it to the opposite so it captures more sound coming from the rear of the phone. So let's say I'm filming something and I'm also talking at the same time, but the camera is facing forward, then I'm going to want to use this option for better audio. And now this setting captures sound equally from all directions, or from both directions, from the front and the rear. ISO can be adjusted, which is awesome. The base ISO is 50 and can be manually adjusted up to 3200 ISO. Shutter speed values can be adjusted like a regular DSLR camera, from 1/30 shutter all the way up to 1/12,000 shutter. There's a meter in the Pro Video mode that shows you what your exposure is set at, which can be pretty handy. Manual focus mode allows you to rack focus with the simple drag of your finger. I found this feature to be pretty sweet. If you find yourself filming in a controlled environment, you can adjust the white balance from your typical 2300 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin. You can manually adjust where you want to set your zoom. Lastly, a very cool feature is you can actually add a histogram to the top of your screen, so you can really dial in your manual settings. Now, another one of my favorite features is the portrait video mode. For phone vloggers, this will be your best friend in the cinematic department. The Samsung S21, when in portrait video mode, will bokeh or blur out the background behind you, or if you're taking cinematic shots of subjects up close, the portrait video mode will bokeh out your background. This honestly looks like an f1.4 bokeh off of a DSLR. Very impressed with this feature. The most insane feature this cell phone has to offer is the filter capabilities. When on selfie mode, I can adjust my jawline, eyes, smoothness of my skin, and skin tone. Absolutely insane. The Samsung S21 Ultra gave me a really good introduction as to what I would look like with minor plastic surgery. I'm just joking, but seriously, this feature blew my mind because I've never seen a cell phone have something like this built into it. Last but not least, hyperlapse mode on this camera works amazing. Here's a clip of me walking around our office, which is inside of an airplane hangar. I made sure to walk slowly while taking the hyperlapse video and kept the video at the same height throughout filming. When I panned the phone upwards and back to its normal resting position, I made sure to pan the camera up and down over the course of 10 seconds. Looks pretty sweet, right? So that takes us to the end of this video, reviewing mostly the video capabilities of the Samsung S21 Ultra. And remember, if you're a Samsung user, be sure to check out our pack of 4 LUTs on our online shop, specially made for the Samsung S21 Ultra video footage. So thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more filmmaking tips, tricks, vlogs, in-depth behind the scenes videos, and more. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.